When I first moved into Maplewood Estates, I thought I had struck gold. Quiet cul-de-sacs, trimmed lawns, kids riding scooters, and neighbors waving as they watered their flowers. But then I learned the dark truth. Behind every picket fence lurked the shadow of the Homeowners Association. The HOA wasn't just a committee. It was a full-on suburban dictatorship run by one woman, Karen. Yes, her actual name was Karen, and yes, she lived up to the stereotype. Platinum blonde bob, oversized sunglasses, clipboards, and a voice that could make car alarms cry. I got my first welcome letter 2 days after moving in. It wasn't a basket of cookies or a friendly note. Nope. It was a violation notice. Apparently, my mailbox was too whimsical. For context, my mailbox was a standard black box, but it had a small silver star decal on the side. According to Karen, decorations distract from the uniformity of the neighborhood's aesthetic. I laughed it off at first. I thought it was a joke. But Karen wasn't joking. She gave me 10 days to remove the offending star, or face a $50 fine. That's when I realized Maplewood Estates wasn't a neighborhood. It was a zoo. And Karen? She was the zookeeper with a taser. A few weeks later, the garage incident happened. I had finally settled in, and was working on restoring my late uncle's 1969 Mustang in the garage. Hood up, tools out, radio playing some classic rock. A peaceful Saturday, right? Wrong. Karen stormed up my driveway like she was serving an FBI warrant. Sunglasses on, clipboard in hand, and her little Pomeranian yapping behind her. She didn't knock, she didn't say hello. She just marched straight to the garage and yelled, "Where did you steal this car from?" I thought she was joking. I laughed. She didn't. She jabbed her acrylic nail at the Mustang and screamed, "This is my car. It went missing last year. You stole it." Now let me pause. I have the title, the paperwork, and even family photos of my uncle standing next to this exact car. But Karen wasn't interested in facts. She was interested in drama. When I tried explaining, she cut me off. "I'm calling 911. You're going to jail." And she did. She literally called 911 and told the operator her neighbor was hiding a stolen car in his garage. Within minutes, 2 police cruisers rolled up. Neighbors peeked through their blinds. My peaceful Saturday had turned into a live episode of Cops, Suburban Edition. The officers arrived looking annoyed. One of them walked over, calm and professional. "Sir, we got a call about a stolen vehicle," he said. I explained the situation, showed him the paperwork, the title, the registration. Heck, I even showed him a picture of me and my uncle standing next to the car at a family barbecue years ago. The officer nodded, clearly satisfied. But Karen wasn't. "She's lying," she screeched. "That car has been missing for months. I have connections at the DMV. I'll prove it." The officer gave her the kind of look you give a toddler throwing a tantrum. "Ma'am, everything checks out. The vehicle belongs to him." Karen's face turned red. She stomped her foot like she was auditioning for a toddler beauty pageant. "This isn't over," she shrieked. The cops drove off, but not before one of them whispered to me, "Good luck with that one." I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. The 911 stunt was just the opening act. Karen was about to escalate things from mildly annoying to full-blown ridiculous. 2 days later, I found an official-looking envelope taped to my front door. It wasn't from the city, the county, or the DMV. Nope, it was from the HOA. "Dear resident," it began. "You are hereby notified of the following violations. Unauthorized storage of motor vehicles in visible areas. Excessive garage activity disrupting the neighborhood aesthetic. Possible criminal activity reported by the HOA president." Possible criminal activity? They actually put that in writing. I nearly choked laughing. The letter went on to demand that I remove the Mustang from my garage within 7 days, or face a $500 fine. Yes, you read that right. $500 for keeping a car in my garage. I knew then and there that I couldn't just ignore this. Karen had declared war, and I wasn't about to surrender. So I did what any rational petty homeowner would do. I bought a 3-ring binder and started documenting everything. Every letter, every interaction, every ridiculous accusation. If Karen wanted a fight, I'd give her one, by the book. The following week, the neighborhood gossip mill went into overdrive. Suddenly, every time I stepped outside, someone had a snide comment. Mrs. Peterson from across the street leaned over her roses and said, "So when do you think the cops will come back for you?" Tom, the guy next door, smirked as he mowed his lawn. "Hope you got a good lawyer, buddy." Karen had clearly been spreading rumors that I was some kind of car thief. And because this was suburbia, people ate it up like free Costco samples. I started noticing people slowing down as they drove past my house, peeking at the garage like it was a crime scene. It was absurd. So, I decided to fight fire with fire. I put up a giant banner in my garage that said, "Not stolen. Stop asking." The neighbors gasped. Karen nearly choked on her kale smoothie when she saw it. That banner was the turning point. From that moment on, I wasn't just some quiet homeowner. I was the guy who fought back against the HOA queen. I spent the next few nights digging through the HOA bylaws. Let me tell you, reading that thing was like reading ancient scripture written by passive-aggressive lawyers. But after hours of highlighting and note-taking, I found something juicy. Rule 12.4. No HOA board member may use their position for personal gain or to target individual residents unfairly. Interesting. Rule 8.7. Board members must maintain their own property in compliance with all regulations to remain in good standing. Even more interesting. So, I decided to take a little walk past Karen's house. What did I see? Oh, just her fence, painted a bright, gaudy shade of turquoise. HOA rules clearly stated that fences must be white, beige, or natural wood tones. Not Miami Beach souvenir shop blue. And her driveway? Cracked. Rule 5.2 required all driveways to be well maintained and free of visible damage. I snapped pictures. Lots of them. The hypocrisy was strong with this one. A few days later, I got another letter. This one was titled, "Mandatory HOA Emergency Meeting." Apparently, Karen had scheduled a special meeting to discuss ongoing criminal concerns in the neighborhood. Translation. She wanted to put me on trial in front of the entire community. Fine by me. I'd been waiting for my day in court. The letter said the meeting would be held in the clubhouse at 6 p.m. on Friday. I marked my calendar, gathered my binder of evidence, and prepared my speech. Little did Karen know, I wasn't just coming to defend myself. I was coming to drop bombs. The clubhouse was packed. Neighbors sat in folding chairs, whispering and pointing at me like I was on the evening news. At the front of the room sat Karen, smug as ever, gavel in hand. Yes, she had a gavel. From Amazon. Probably cost $20. But she wielded it like she was Judge Judy. Karen opened the meeting by dramatically slamming the gavel and announcing, "We are here to address the theft occurring at 124 Maplewood Drive." Gasps. Whispers. Someone dropped their water bottle. I stood up calm as ever and said, "Actually, we're here to address your violations." The room went silent. I pulled out my binder and started listing Karen's infractions. The turquoise fence, the cracked driveway, the unapproved shed in her backyard. I showed pictures, quoted bylaws, and even read the section about board members abusing their power. Karen's face turned purple. She started sputtering. This is irrelevant." But the crowd wasn't buying it. Karen completely lost it. She stood up, slammed her gavel again and screamed, "This is my neighborhood. My rules." Someone in the back muttered, "Well, technically it's our neighborhood." Karen pointed at me and shrieked, "He's dangerous. He's hiding things. He's probably in the mafia." I swear to God, she actually said that. At that exact moment, the clubhouse doors swung open. And who walked in? Not the cops. Not code enforcement. No. It was two men in dark suits with FBI badges. The room froze. The agents walked straight up to Karen. "Ma'am, we need to speak with you." Karen blinked. "Me? No, you mean him. He's the car thief." The agent shook his head. "No, ma'am. We have reason to believe you have been involved in fraudulent HOA fund usage and falsifying reports." You could have heard a pin drop. The woman who accused me of stealing a car was now being accused by the FBI of stealing money. Turns out, someone had tipped them off about financial irregularities in the HOA budget. Gee, I wonder who that could have been. Karen tried to argue, but the agents weren't having it. They escorted her out of the clubhouse while neighbors sat there slack-jawed. After Karen's dramatic exit, the room buzzed with energy. People who had been whispering against me days earlier now turned on her. Mrs. Peterson muttered, "I always thought her fence was tacky." Tom shook his head. "Figures. She fined me for leaving my trash can out for an extra day." I just sat back and let it all unfold. The crowd realized that Karen had been weaponizing the HOA rules to target people, while breaking them herself. One of the board members finally stood up and said, "We need to vote on removing her immediately." The vote wasn't even close. Karen was officially ousted as HOA president that night. Over the next few weeks, the neighborhood completely shifted. Without Karen's iron grip, people relaxed. Kids left their bikes out overnight. People painted their fences fun colors. And guess what? The world didn't end. The Mustang? Still sitting proudly in my garage, put up radio blasting. No cops. No fines. No fake theft accusations. The HOA board even apologized to me. They admitted they'd let Karen run wild for too long. They invited me to join the board, but I politely declined. I'd had enough HOA drama for one lifetime. About a month after the infamous FBI showdown, I thought the drama was finally over. But then came one last gift from Karen, a handwritten letter stuffed in my mailbox. Written in frantic scribbles that looked like a toddler armed with 5 Red Bulls had gone wild with a pen. It read something like, "You destroyed me. You teamed up with the FBI. Everyone in this neighborhood thinks I'm a criminal because of you. I know you set me up. I'll never forgive you. You ruined my reputation, my presidency, and my life." I nearly cried laughing. The best part? She signed it with a loopy former HOA president, Karen. As if it was still an official title. Naturally, I did what any petty homeowner would do. I framed it. Hung it proudly in the garage, right above my Mustang. Every time I grab a wrench, I glance up and think, "Ah yes, the trophy of my victory." And the neighborhood? They loved it. Karen's old allies now wave at me like I'm a local hero. Kids ride their scooters past my house shouting, "Hey FBI guy." The HOA even rewrote several rules to prevent another Karen regime. So, in the end, Karen called 911 on my garage, screamed I stole her car, and got herself investigated by the FBI. Me. I got peace, justice, and a framed letter of pure suburban comedy gold.